Hello, Peter47890 here, and welcome to Sirus Gaming Corner, a gaming podcast where I, Silverfish1390, and Force Reviews talk about various gaming topics. From old games to new games, everything is fair game as far as discussion goes. So how are you guys this evening so far?
Doing very well. Glad to be back on.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
The PS5 live event just came, well, at the date of this recording, but let's talk about it. I guess the most logical thing to do is just go through the list of games that the live event showed, and then talk about the console itself, since they revealed the console's look and design at the end of the live event. So I guess the first... I think Sword haven't watched the live event yet, but Forrest, you have, right?
Yeah, I've watched it.
Okay. This will be like sort of a live showing, I guess, where Sword just reacts to the games we see. I guess the first game on the list is Spiderman Miles Morales. Have you guys ever played the PS4 Spiderman game?
I
No,
haven't, although I
unfortunately.
did hear it was good.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, I haven't played it.
I have. It's a really good Spider-Man game. It's like... I think it's like almost the best Spider-Man game I've played, but I haven't really played many, but it's really on par with other good AAA games, which is saying something since usually superhero games aren't really good. Just like licensed games, because there usually are licensed games. Though licensed games seems to be like a thing of the past now, since they're not really, at least they're not showcased as much as was in the past. But yeah, I think Miles Morales, the trailer looks really good. Like, just not really much more to say. You just showcase Miles Morales, and it seems to showcase the unique powers he has from Peter Parker, which is good. And yeah, I'm looking forward to trying out Spider-Man Miles Morales. I'm not sure if it's its own game or it might be like an expansion of the PS4 game that's being like remastered to the PS5 or something. That's what I've heard, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. But yeah, you guys have any thoughts on the on that game?
Nothing too
Actually,
much. It's just I have very little experience with Spider-Man games as a whole. But the PS4 one looks really good. This trailer for this looks really cool, so it might be something to check out.
yeah, I was not really interested in Spider-Man, so it'd probably be a pass for me on this one.
Okay. And Gran Turismo 7, I think. This is the 7th installment, right?
Yeah, it'd be the 7 game. Sport
okay.
is it's a side game.
Okay. I'll probably give you the floor on this because you're more of a racing guy than I am. Forrest?
Well, Gran Turismo 7 is the 7th entry in the series, if you count Sport being the side entry. Where this game goes back to reform, as the previous Gran Turismo game, unfortunately, was a game that was very polarizing due to the campaign being taken out of the game. You having to always be online, whereas the previous games were not like that. Although they did have a very good slew of different competitions and different updates for the game that allowed the game to be more in tune with this time of year, vehicles that were released based on new car models that came out, and other different popular race professional drivers who were able to compete with time trials. So the game had a lot of updates in that regard. But the problem with the game just did not mesh with older Gran Turismo fans who wanted a traditional story-based component to Gran Turismo. With this new entry, the creator came out and specifically stated that it will have a campaign in the game, which has returned to form since Gran Turismo 6. And the game looks incredible. Visually, it looks amazing. And I'm not really too sure if they're using ray tracing in the trailer that I saw, but the game looks incredible. I mean, it looked good for sport anyway, but that's really a game that pushes any Sony console's potential. Usually, Polyphony Digital is known for that, so I wouldn't be too surprised as it being a first-party Sony studio to bring something like that to the table. So that's pretty much what I think of Gran Turismo 7. I was disappointed with Gran Turismo Sport. So while I am a fan of Gran Turismo to a point, it may be it may be a game I may end up trying out and getting. I'm not as wild by it as I was when Gran Turismo 3 came out for PS2, but I'm going to go ahead and check it out as I've played all the other games, including Sport, previously.
Hmm. For me, I've never been much of a racing game guy. The only racers I played is probably F-Zero, Mario Kart, that sort of thing. So, like, Gran Turismo is like more of a car simulator, right? Rather than arcadey.
Yeah, it's a racing simulator.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it does have an arcade mode, so to speak. You don't technically have to bob in the rules or regulations of the race, and you're able to pick whatever class of vehicle you want to drive.
Hmm.
But that's mostly just if you want to just jump in and play the game without going through the license aspect of the campaign mode to work your way up as a racer.
Hmm.
This gives you the flexibility to play it as you see fit. But that again was something that was not in Gran Turismo Sport as far as the ability to have access to vehicles on top. I know one of the complaints too about Sport was you couldn't save your game when the game was offline. So if the network was down for Gran Turismo Sport, you could not save your game. Just imagine playing the game, you got progression into the game, and then the network servers went down. You couldn't turn your PS4 off until the servers were back up for the game. That was a really big mistake for them to do that, and hopefully Gran Turismo 7 is not like that. Because imagine you playing a game for 2 hours and you can't save the game. You lose 2 hours of saved progress, and yeah. So there was a lot of issues with Sport, and one of the reasons I'm
Yeah.
kind of apprehensive on 7 right now.
Okay. So yeah, like it's probably not my type of racer. And I don't even play that many racers to begin with, but I will say that it looks really good. It's going for that more photorealistic visuals, which is pretty appropriate for a car simulator type of game. And it looks really great. Really shows off what the PS5 is capable of, at least at the start. Of course, like more time we go into the PS5 generation, there'll probably be more better looking games, but it's a pretty impressive showcase on its initial revealing, I think. I probably won't get it just because I'm not really into simulators overall. So yeah. How about you, Sword?
I'm pretty much in the same boat. I'm not much into races except for like the fun kind of goofy ones like Crash Team Racing, Mario Kart, things like that. So that's, I mean, I'm sure it's a fine racing game if you're into that, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it a skip. Not, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure the game's gonna be totally good,
Mhm.
but just not for me.
Yeah, like I don't
Mhm.
think it's really me and Sword type of game.
Mhm.
Or like racers in general. It's pretty much
Mhm.
a foreign concept to us for the most part.
Mhm.
The next game to talk about is the next Ratchet and Clank game, which I'll probably give the floor again to Forrest, since he's more of an expert of that game series than I ever will, since I haven't really played any of the games. The only games I played, I think, is this Into the Nexus, I think it's called.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
Ratchet and Clank Drift Apart. This is a new entry. It is not a reboot like the first Ratchet and Clank was. This is actually a new game, and from what I can gather from the trailer, they're warping through different dimensions. I noticed one area where they were on a ship fighting the Kraken, and believe they were from Quest for Booty. Um, so it appears that they may be jumping through different timelines from the previous Ratchet and Clank games, but the areas of where they were before are not quite the same. And you get to see a new Lombax at the end of the trailer, which is even more crazy. So we don't know if this Lombax from a different timeline that was created from the timelines we messed up. We don't know if Clank landed into a different galaxy. We have no idea. But it looks like Ratchet himself will not be fully a part of the main story. It looks like him and Clank are split up. So it's curious to see where they're going to take the series next. Because maybe now we could be having another Lombax to continue with the story. I don't know. But the gameplay looked amazing. Graphically, they showed that the Ratchet's fur has ray tracing, which is really cool to see. Um, the detail of the game is quite just amazing, man. So that for me is a day one buy without question. Out of the games so far we've talked about, which isn't very many yet, but Ratchet and Clank is day one. Whatever its release date is, it's instant buy for me. I've been a big fan of the series, and the only two games I think was subpar at best was All for One and Full Frontal Assault weren't very good. But yeah, yeah, I'm really excited for this one. So there's a whole lot of questions and answers in terms of the trailer, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure.
As for my take on it, it looks really cool. The dimension hopping seems a pretty cool setting and concept. It was especially cool to see the game just hopping from one dimension to the next in terms of the footage they showed us. And the gameplay looks pretty fun, arcadey, arcade third-person shooter type of gameplay from what I've seen, but it looks pretty cool, hectic but fun. And I do think the visuals is more my cup of tea too, being that colorful, cartoony style kind of. And overall, it seems a really cool game. Now, do you think this game will be for newcomers to the series? You think, just based on the alternate timeline thing?
I feel like it's kind of a shot in the dark, but I feel like it could go either way. I feel like it really is going to appeal to both new fans and veterans. I feel like it's going to be like kind of the best of both worlds.
Yeah, okay. Because yeah, that's the one thing I'm wondering about, just because it involves the alternate timelines in Ratchet and Clank games, so people who haven't played it might be confused. I mean, just look at Final Fantasy VII Remake, where let's just say that game has sort of a similar concept with the timelines, and as a result,
Yeah, shit gets weird.
And as a result, Final Fantasy VII Remake isn't a game that's really beginner friendly, I think. At least,
Yeah, that's kind of the impression that I'm getting.
yeah. But if they're able to like make it accessible to newcomers, then that'd be good. Because I haven't played a Ratchet and Clank game besides Into the Nexus, and I don't even remember much from my time Into the Nexus. So,
Yeah, because Ratchet and Clank goes back a really goes really far back. So at this point, I feel like a lot of the people who have been with the series are like adults now, and they probably don't remember stuff from that far back. And then I doubt that everyone who hasn't played a Ratchet and Clank game is going to have the desire to go back to the very, very beginning of the series and play every single one up to this point. So I feel like it might be in Insomniac's best interest to try to make it newcomer friendly. That way they can just dive into it without worrying about it.
Well, you got to remember too. You got to remember too. The Ratchet and Clank PS4 game was their attempt to.
That was a reboot, right?
That was actually a remake of the first game.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was their attempt to introduce Ratchet and Clank, because think about it like this: if they remastered, let's just say remaster, I don't know, Crack in Time or Tools of Destruction or something like that, that was kind of in the middle of the series, it wouldn't be a good idea. I think by them going back and remaking the first game, and making a movie for it would keep the series interested for newcomers. But I don't know if you've played the reboot or the
No, I
remake.
haven't. I haven't. I haven't
It
had the
is
time.
more kid friendly than the original Ratchet and Clank was on PS2. They made it a lot more kid friendly. If you play the PS2 version, it's Ratchet and Clank actually don't like each other
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning. They actually have a huge dislike to each other. Whereas in the remake, they were cool with each other off the bat. That actually doesn't happen in the original game. So, like Sword mentioned about it, making it more user friendly to get into. Uh, for me, who's played the older games, I feel a little bewildered by their choice in that regard, but I think I know why they did it. Um, but this new game feels like both appeasing to the older fans. Hey, let's make a new game in the series. Let's continue the story. And for those who played the remake, can say, "Oh, cool." So for if you think about it, you never played the other games. You got this new game coming out. It's like, cool, new game. You know, it's like I gotta go back and play the old ones. I got this game and this one. And for us, we're like, oh man, the PS3 generation is where it was at for Ratchet and Clank. There's so many. The Ratchet collection, To the Destruction, Cracking Time, Questionability, um, Full Frontal, so All for One, Into the Nexus. You can get every single Ratchet game on one console. It's like the perfect system to play every Ratchet and Clank game. But problem is now those PS3 Blu-ray drives are known to fail, so chances of finding PS3 still working may be pretty hard to find at this point. But I would definitely play those and definitely play this new game because it looks really cool.
Okay. Uh, any thoughts on the new Ratchet and Clank game? Sword?
I mean, I agree. I think the gameplay looks great. I mean, Ratchet and Clank has always really rocked it in the gameplay department with like the way over the top weapons, the really cool plants to explore. I doubt this will be an exception. I'm sure this will be a blast to play too. And I do think that the story could be fun depending on what they do with it. The alternate timelines thing is pretty interesting at least in concept. So we'll see what they do with it. Like I said before, I really feel like they're gonna attempt to make it appeal to both newcomers and veterans of the series. I think they're gonna try to appeal to both sides. So I'm not like super hardcore fan of Ratchet and Clank or anything, but I do like the series a lot. I think I've always had fun with it, and I'm definitely gonna be picking this up at some point.
Okay. Next game. Project Athia by Square Enix. So, do you guys think this will be the next Final Fantasy? Then that's what some people think.
I'm gonna be honest. From what I read about Hajime Tabata when it created Luminous Productions during 15's transition to try to finish the game in a decent enough time, the studio was open to handle specific games using the Luminous engine. What worries me about this is that this game will probably be using the Luminous engine, obviously a newer version of the Luminous engine, which would probably mean this game is going to take a long time to come out. Then the other part of me thought this may not be an actual game. This may be a tech demo. This may not ever turn into anything. Because I remember they did this similarly to another tech demo for PS3, not 7, but there was another tech demo they used that never came to fruition. I forget what it was called, but I'm not holding my breath on it being a physical game. It could be just a tech demo. I don't really have enough info on it. The actual trailer looked amazing though. Looks cool with the magic of the abilities that she could use, but there's really nothing for us to say whether or not it's going to be a full game or not. So the other side of the fence, I guess, since you asked about it being Final Fantasy, I think this could also be Final Fantasy 16 that's not an MMO. They may skip an MMO game where 16 will be the next mainline, Final Fantasy, and then 17 will be the MMO because 14 is doing really well.
No,
There's no point in them making another MMO right now. So I could see them skipping an MMO installment, going to a new Final Fantasy game. Let that be the next thing they work on because they have 7 they got to finish. So we can't really jump the gun yet with 7 not being done. So I'm gonna say 7 is their focus. Luminous Productions' focus is to make a new Final Fantasy game, while the other team work on the main 7 that they're doing right now. And then I believe that could be what it is. So my 2 theories is either a tech demo that's not a full game, or it is Final Fantasy 16. That's kind of where I stand.
Okay. For me, I think it might be a full game, just because I don't know. Like, there's like a caption within the trailer say designed exclusively for PS5, and I don't know. I think if it was a tech demo, they would have like at least give a notification for it, especially in this live event where they're mostly showcasing games that that's like stated to release on PS5. So it'd be kind of weird to have a tech demo among these type of games. At least that's what I
Well,
think.
you got to remember,
Mhm.
this happened with 15 also. When it was called Versus 13, even though Noctis
but-
is still technically used,
Yeah, but then
the
versus
game actually didn't quite come
that
out
wasn't-
exactly the same way.
but versus
But that was-
13
that was
was always
released-
meant to be a game, but then
Yeah, that
it
was-
It's
got-
not the
that was always
same game
planned.
though. The
yeah,
game that we
because
got was not the game
No,
that
but they
first started out
released
with.
it. They released a trailer like showcasing that, guys, this is the game. There wasn't like
it
a
wasn't
mystery
like
this is now.
it only turned out that way because of poor management by Square Enix. But it was always meant to be a game, I think, for Versus 13, not just a
It
tech
was meant
demo.
to be a game, but I'm saying the game that we got was not the game that the trailer started out.
Yeah, but that wasn't. That's
But that's
that's
not
like those are two
intentional.
different. Those are two different
Yeah.
things,
No,
though.
I get what you're saying that
Yeah.
it was not intentional. What I'm trying to say is that this trailer may not be the game we get later on. It may be something that could be completely different from this trailer. I still stand by the fact whenever Square Enix does a trailer for a new generation, it's either a tech demo of a game that they're using for that engine as an example, or it's because it says project. That may not be the actual name of the game. So I'm not holding my breath on it right now because that's Square Enix track record. At least that's how I see it. So until they actually say what the actual name of the game is, I'm gonna wait. I don't really know. I'm either saying it could be 15. I mean, it could be Final Fantasy 16. It could be a new JRPG that they're making. It might not even be a Final Fantasy game. We don't know.
Yeah,
It could be something completely different. We don't know.
no. Like, so far, I really dig the look for it. It really does remind me of Final Fantasy 15 in terms of the visual style of it. And I do think the devs from Final Fantasy 13 at least worked on if this is a tech demo on this version of the game. At least that's what I think, just looking at the visual style.
Mhm.
And there's not really much to say. They don't really show much. They show like cool Gorgon design, which was pretty cool, and then showcase the world. And the magic seems interesting, and with how she like grow roots around the enemy. And yeah, that's basically it. Oh, wait. When at the beginning of the capture of the trailer, they say, what would it say? Let me go back a bit. A world not of our own. So this might be an isekai game, man. Oh boy. What do you think, Sword?
It just really doesn't. I really don't have much to say either. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks nice. That's really all I can say.
Yeah,
I don't really
it looks nice.
have much. I can't really comment. That doesn't tell us much.
A female protagonist, so that's
Yay! I
something.
guess.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. That's really all I can say. It looks good.
Yeah.
It's pretty. I really wish I had more input in this, but that's really
Yeah.
all I can say.
I guess the next game that showcases Stray, but I don't think we can say really much about the game. It seems to be set in this futuristic setting, robots and stuff, and then you see this cat, and that's basically it. Do you guys have anything to add? What is said about Stray?
I'm gonna watch the trailer real quick.
Okay.
I got nothing to say on it because I don't know. It looks weird.
Yeah. Hey,
I mean,
you get to play as a cat. You get to play as a cat. A legit cat,
yeah,
probably.
Can't say I've
Yeah.
ever seen that in a game before.
Yeah. Not a cat girl,
Yeah.
the natural cat.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't mean like it looks interesting, but I don't. I don't know, man. I have a specific taste in games, and I don't know. There's just that I got no comment.
It's definitely looks visually like stunning,
Yeah.
and
It looks very stylized.
yeah, and the setting is like I can't even really describe. It's not sci-fi. I don't even really know what to call this. This is really bizarre, but
Yeah,
like
that's why. That's
also
why.
super alluring.
Yeah, that's why I say it's kind of futuristic, just because of the robots.
Yeah,
But I don't really know how to describe it, really, too. Okay.
it's definitely surreal, but yeah. Otherwise, I'm pretty much same boat as Project Athia. There's nothing to say
Yeah.
at the moment.
Returnal. Seems like your typical shooter, kind of. In terms of gameplay. I think I don't know. I'm pretty stumped on this too.
I'm watching the trailer.
Yeah. What do you got? What do you think, Forrest?
From a visual aspect, it looks damn impressive, but
Yeah.
I guess this astronaut is traveling out of space, crash lands on a planet.
hmm
Um, I'm pretty sure she's probably by herself, just from what I can see. But unfortunately, she's on a planet that looks to be a place that's not safe. She's either being possessed or she's having these weird thoughts.
Yeah.
It looks interesting because the environments are showing her walking around on this red barren planet, going into like this temple, and you see this floating ball object. There's these alien creatures there. So it looks like it appears, and then they show a barn that's like looks completely normal and then it's destroyed. So they show like she's back on the like her own home planet.
Yeah.
It looks interestingly bizarre. It could be a
Okay.
survival horror game. It could be a shooter survival horror. I have no idea. It looks interesting. It definitely does not look, like it just it looks actually interesting. It looks like it'll be a pretty interesting game.
Like to me, I was just paying attention to the gameplay. It didn't seem all that interesting to me. But I do think, like you said, that the visual style of it, of the setting, of being on this alien planet, of her possibly losing her mind from being on there, with her flashing back to her time back on probably Earth. That
Yeah.
part seems interesting.
Well, also too, when it's Returnal, I was thinking Returnal.
Mhm.
What could that possibly mean in terms of the game? Because obviously she's not on her planet; she's crashed on an alien planet. So Returnal, and looking at the fact she's seeing all these hallucinations of her home planet, cross between fighting these aliens. I mean, I am interested. I'm intrigued more or less, if anything else.
Finish watching the trailer, sort.
Yep. It looks really creepy, sort of. I'm getting sort of a weird, like, Dead Space meets Mass Effect kind of thing here. I agree that
It's intense, if anything. I think that's what the trailer is going for anyway.
it's almost like feels like it's gonna be a psychological thriller, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the clips, I agree that it looks like pretty standard shooter.
Yeah.
But the visual style is amazing. The art direction is fantastic, and I mean we're kind of vague on the story right now, but it seems like it's gonna be this trippy mind fuck kind of thing going on. But
It definitely
I'm definitely it definitely hooks me. I think this is probably the best trailer or like the most
it
appealing game that I've seen so far.
it looks like a kind of game that I don't normally play, but I would actually I would put this on a hey, it's a new system. Hey, you know what? I want to try a Western game because I don't really buy a lot of Western games. But whenever there's a new generation, I typically give one a shot just to see what the system is capable of. And this game does look or appear to be a game I would give a try,
No.
which is something I don't usually do.
Okay.
So that would be on my maybe in this
Yeah,
case.
it's maybe for me too.
I wouldn't say maybe it's a day one for me, but I definitely am interested.
Okay. Next game is Sackboy, a big adventure. To me, it's basically another rendition of the Little Big Planet series.
Hmm.
It doesn't look much different from the other Little Big Planet games I played, which was 1 and 2. Looks fun, colorful. Uh, the trailer doesn't really say much about what's going to be new, I think.
It does show in the trailer that it could be multiplayer in a way. It could be a 4-player
Well,
couch co-op
there was
style.
multiplayer in the other Little Big Planets too.
No, that's not what I meant.
No,
What I mean is it appears that it could be a 4-player game that's designed in a 3D environment instead of being a side scroll game. Because just looking at the environments, there's a lot more you can interact with. So I don't know if they're going for this sort of Super Mario 3D World aesthetic, because that's what it looks like they're doing. Because remember, if you've ever played that game, it actually has that type of style to it. So
yeah. Uh,
that's kind of what it reminded me when I first saw the trailer. It kind of has a Super Mario 3D look,
Mhm.
3D aesthetic to it,
okay.
which could be really interesting playing with 4 players.
Mhm.
I can see it being a lot of fun. Like, you got a new console but you want to be able to play with friends and stuff like that. I could see this being like one of those kind of games, kind of like Knack, where it was 2-player, or it shows like this kind of environment for kids and stuff like because you got to have a kids game at launch. When you have a new
Yeah.
console, you got to have at least one, and I think this was their pick for that. So it looks interesting. I wouldn't personally buy it, but it does look pretty cool though. I show like some gameplay of 2 people playing it. At the very end, it showed like 4 players or 4 characters. So it is a 4-player based game. It could be online or offline. So I don't know, but they haven't said anything about that yet. But yeah, it looks impressive. Visually, it looks impressive.
I'll probably be most interested to see in the type of level creation the game has, because I think Little Big Planet 1 and 2 are most well known for the level creators. Yeah, the game itself is still fun, but there's really some creative levels you can find on Little Big Planet 1 and 2 when you go online. So I'd be pretty interested to see how they expand on that section of the game, since it's one of the core elements that makes Little Big Planet to be as memorable as it is, I think. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've enjoyed Little Big Planet 1 and 2, so when this game
Was
comes
Little Big
out,
Planet 3 not any good? Because I don't hear no one talk about that game. I don't even see it in stores.
I never played that game, so I wouldn't know. But this looks cool. Any thoughts, Sword?
I mean, I've never played Little Big Planet. I've seen clips here and there. It looks fine. This looks fine. This is not my kind of game. I mean, it looks like it's a lot of fun. It doesn't. I agree with what you said. It doesn't really look much different from any other Little Big Planet game.
Yeah.
But it looks totally functional. It looks like it'll be fun if you're into that type of game. Me, I am not.
Yeah.
So not like a knack against the game itself. Just not my cup of tea is all.
I mean, if you take from the fact that the other games were side scroll, this is the first 3D environment based one. Because the other games you didn't have the 3-dimensional field of view.
Yeah, it's mostly side scrollers. Yeah.
And it was side scrollers. This one really looks more like Super Mario 3D World. I think that's what they were going for. So, I mean, it's all right.
Yep.
It looks okay. Like put it like this: if you had a bunch of family or friends over at your house, this would be kind of throwaway game you can just play for a weekend. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But under normal circumstance, if you're by yourself and you don't have anyone to play, I kind of think it wouldn't be a very fun game unless it was online. If it was, then that's completely different.
Okay.
Uh,
I think that's all
Wait,
for what? Pardon?
did you mention one game that they announced that controversial? The game that seems to always gets ported on every system, where it goes.
Oh, are you talking about GTA 5?
Yeah,
I mean, that's sort of expected, so it's whatever to me.
I only bring it up because why does it need to come on another console? It's been on, what is it, PS3?
Mm-hmm. PS4,
Uh, yeah,
PC, I
it's just
think.
like,
And then yeah.
yeah. I mean, it was free on the Epic Games Store recently. So I just find it strange that this game still. And just
Oh,
so you guys are curious,
it's Rockstar's.
just so you guys are curious, if you go to the trailer, the like to dislike ratio is insane. It's been disliked 78,000 times, and it was liked only 40,000. Just to put in context of how many people are pretty upset about this. So that was kind of fitting that they put that trailer at the very beginning of the um of the podcast of them showing this PS5 announcement. They had the PS4
Yeah.
logo at the top
Mhm.
to understand that, hey, this was recorded from a PS4.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, I've expected this. Like GTA 5 is pretty much Rockstar's uh most famous game right now. Really.
it is, but I think people are starting to get tired of it now at this point.
Like if we didn't know the next Elder Scroll game was coming out, we'd probably expect Skyrim to be out on the PS5 as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really that much of a surprise to me. It's like, oh, okay, whatever.
Well, I wouldn't say I was surprised. I'm more like, yeah, but you expecting to milk people out of money for an online game that has a huge audience on PlayStation? A lot of people aren't going to want to jump over because your save data doesn't carry over to PS5.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to play on PS5, you got to start over, and a lot of people aren't going to want to do that. That's why
Well,
I'm just like,
it's not like
really,
GTA 5 isn't much a progression gated game. The only like type of progression gating that's in GTA 5 is probably the character switching mechanic in the game, where you switch between Trevor, Michael, and I forgot what the other guy's name is, but mostly
Franklin.
yeah,
Franklin is
Franklin,
his
yeah,
name.
yeah, Franklin. But besides that, there's not really much progression gating in that game. It's pretty much a free for all sandbox type of game, and you pretty much just go through a few hours, and then you pretty much can just do whatever you want. So it's not that much of a big deal to me. I think in terms of your save data not transferring.
The cutscenes in Grand Theft Auto 5 though are 5 hours and 30 minutes long because I actually watched the video
Yeah.
of all the cutscenes. So the story is actually quite long when you add in all the side content and the what you do in the missions too. But yeah, I'm not gonna get GTA 5 on PS5.
Yeah, I'm
Nah.
not too. I played it already, so I'm not really much interested in playing through GTA 5 again. Like, I think for me, most Rockstar games are just one playthrough type of games for me. And I don't really go back to them.
That's how I feel about most games.
Grand Theft Auto to me is always like boot it up for a bit, run around the city, just do a bunch of stuff, maybe kill some people just for fun, and then get killed by the police, and then respawn, start over, and then just do it again, and then play it, rinse and repeat for a few more hours, and then I'm done. That's
Yeah.
So
Grand Theft Auto for
you
me.
never actually played through one of the stories in the game?
No, it was always like when I was younger, like me and some family members or friends would boot it up and then just run around the city and just kind of bullshit around. We never really dove into the main story. I mean, I haven't played any Grand Theft Auto in many years, so I can't even really tell you like what actually the games are specifically
I would.
about. I might maybe one of these days like play a couple of them, like do a serious run through now that I'm older and I can like put the like serious time into it.
You ever
But
play?
GTA 5, man, is like it's actually really freaking. The game is actually really good. The story mode is actually really good. It's just
You ever play
where
Red
that game
Dead?
shines that it's online.
You ever play the Red Dead Redemption games?
some, yeah,
Yeah, I think that you might be
it's pretty
more.
much like that.
I think you might be more interested in the Red Dead Redemption games from what I've gathered. Because Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2 is a lot more about the story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto almost seems more like satire.
it is satire.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay.
Well, they are a little more serious in this one than they were in the previous.
Mhm.
That's not saying much, but if you look at the comedic value, it's more turned down in 5 than it was in 4.
Where was I? Oh yeah, next game, Destruction All Stars.
Oh god, this game.
What, you don't like it? It seems like it seems like an over the top, funny car battle game.
yeah, but then they get out of the car
And then,
and
yeah,
they get out of the car
that
and
part.
it looks like it turns into Fortnite.
Yeah, sort of. That part's weird.
Oh,
I'm gonna watch it now real fast.
Okay, so I'm not really sure what to make of it. It's not really. It's pretty much just a cinematic trailer, I think. So
so it's one of those cinematic experiences, right?
yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, like in a game like this, the gameplay is probably going to be the most important part, and they don't really show any gameplay for this game. Besides,
It just looks really dumb.
yeah,
Do you see
I
what
feel
I
like that's
do
the
you see
point,
what
though.
I was saying about the Fortnite aspect of it though?
yeah.
I've
When
never
they
played
get out of the
Fortnite.
car, yeah, when they get out of the car. But
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like if anything, it seems to be might be a fun game.
Yeah, like play it with a couple friends. It's just really goofy and stupid and over the top and just like a fun switch your brain off kind of game.
Okay,
My only concern is it looks like it would get kind of boring after a while.
maybe. Depends on what type of modes they have.
Mm-hmm.
They can't really say much since they didn't really show us anything really.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really too. I guess what I'm saying is I don't really know how I feel about it. I'm not interested in it. I guess is what I'm saying. But I'm not saying I don't know. I'm just gonna say I don't know because I'm not really into Fortnite. I don't like the design of it. I don't like the look of the game. I mean, yeah, I'm in the cars, but see, the thing is, like you guys mentioned earlier, with being more into arcade style car games, I have mixed reaction to racing games. Either, I mean, I don't like simulating. I like Gran Turismo. I don't necessarily like simulators. I don't like arcade racing games. I like licensed vehicles in a game.
Mhm.
I don't like the games that create vehicles and make them arcadey like Burnout. I would like, okay, a perfect example. Blur had real licensed vehicles in a Mario Kart style setting where you could go and pick up items and blow up other cars. So like that, like using real vehicles in arcade style, like Driver San Francisco. I like realistic vehicles in a video game that are arcade. That's what I'm saying.
Mario Kart.
So,
Ever sponsored by Benz. Oh my god.
Hmm?
No, they're just making fun of the fact that how there's like a Benz vehicle in the Mario Kart now.
oh yeah, Mercedes Benz vehicle. Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard about that. Was it Luigi's car, right?
I think.
Who drives it?
I'm not
I
sure,
think it was.
but yeah.
But I mean, yeah, this game, it's like a poor man's attempt of PlayStation All Stars. I don't think it's gonna work out.
I guess. We can only wait and see.
Yep.
So Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. This game actually
This
looks
actually looks really good.
really
This
interesting
game
to
looks
me.
really good, man.
It seems like a very charming action adventure type of game. And
I think after all the trailers I've seen, Kena Bridge of Spirits is probably the game I'm most interested in outside of like Ratchet and Clank.
yeah, out of the games we talked, this is probably the game I'm most interested in at the
Yeah.
moment, just because like it looks charming, looks stylized. The gameplay actually looks pretty interesting when you see the boss fight in there. There's parries.
Oh yeah, the game looks damn
The
impressive.
combat looks pretty fluid, and it looks really good. And
I mean, like the whole the little fur creatures,
yeah,
how she's able to like do these crazy things with them.
and there seems to be like a theme of nature, of like pushing back corruption, and to preserve nature, sort of thing, which I think is pretty cool. It kind of
Yeah,
kind of give me
Yeah.
like a Miyazaki vibe, kind of, in terms of
I
that.
almost that, and I also kind of like, at least based on like visuals, I kind of get sort of a Beyond Good and Evil
Mhm.
kind of feel.
I'm gonna be honest. If the whole game looks like this, like not just in the cutscenes, but if it's actually real in-game graphics that they're showing, just dude, this game looks incredible.
Yeah.
It looks incredible. Like if you look at the like to dislike ratio, Sword, look at the like to dislike ratio to the trailer. It's only 545 dislikes. When you compare how many people actually like the trailer, that just gives you an example of like how interested people are in this game.
But yeah,
It's got a very positive feedback to it.
yeah.
So
Like I
I'm
said,
I,
it just gives like this game like gives off this charming vibe to it. I think that makes people really
Yeah, like it's
look
like
forward
there's
to
like
it.
this magic. There's like this magic to it that
Mhm.
um that the other games don't have. Not that that's like inherently a bad thing, but there is. I agree. There's like that Miyazaki
Yeah.
kind of aesthetic to it, which is what I get to.
Mhm.
what I also think about the trailer is just the trailer shows off the gameplay aspect a lot better than the trailers we've seen before this game.
Yeah.
It speaks on what this game's attempt is at its style. Like the whole running segment where she's running away from that one monster. I like the shading, like when it's raining and it's dark. Like the game looks visually like pleasing from all the different angles of like the light and dark aspects of the game. To like the enemies that she's fighting, to the spell she's using. Everything about the game it's really done well, man. So yeah, for sure, that's like 100%. That's the game I want to get.
Yeah.
Like,
I might get this game day one. It looks really
yeah, I might get it day one. I may
I think so
actually get
too.
it.
yeah. Like I'm always a sucker for charming games like these, so yeah. Hopefully, like it's a good game, but yeah.
It could be
Okay.
repetitive, but at least from what I see, it looks very interesting.
Okay. Next game. Goodbye, Volcanic High. Or this basically just seems like a show to me, from what I've
It
seen.
looks like a two-dimensional, what could be a CG mixture, two-dimensional reptile reptiles in like high school and like the prehistoric era. It's weird.
It's
I don't know how to really describe it, but
it's hard gonna deal with teen angst. You know.
I kind
That
of
sort of
think it's
stuff.
a visual novel. I think it's a visual novel. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think it'll be a visual novel too, in the same regard like Life is Strange or Night in the Woods. Speaking of Night in the Woods, it reminds me like the visual aesthetic of Goodbye Volcanic High reminds me a lot of Night in the Woods. So yeah, like this might like I'm probably not gonna get it day one, but I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I need to
just-
see more before I
Just
make my
looking at it, I
decision.
can't imagine like what kind of gameplay there could possibly be. This
Yeah.
definitely looks more like an interactive see
It
the
could be-
cartoon.
Actually, you're right, Sword. It could be an interactive game. I didn't think about that till now.
I mean,
When was the last interactive game we had to come out that was new, not like a port?
Like
You guys-
almost maybe like a sort of a Quantic Dreams game.
Oh, got it.
plot twist. This
I hope
game
it's
is
better. I hope it's better
plot twist.
than Heavy Rain and
This
Beyond.
game is
Two Souls.
directed by David Cage.
Oh god. No, thank you.
Just imagine.
I just want if they're going to go.
Just
If they're
imagine.
gonna go in, if
A
they're gonna go in that
game?
direction with like that kind of style of gameplay, I just hope that it's better and more
Yeah,
refined.
just imagine David Cage writing about teenagers and high school drama. Just
with
imagine
reptiles and
that.
dinosaurs.
Just imagine that, Sword.
Good God, no. Please.
Yeah. Well, I can't really say much about it. It looks neat. It gives me that Night of the Woods vibe, which I think is pretty interesting. And I heard Night of the Woods is pretty good. But yeah. Oddworld Soulstorm.
Well, there's nothing to say about that. It's Oddworld. It's gonna be just as good as the other ones were.
Oh, I haven't. It's a series? I didn't know that.
Hmm. Yeah,
can't really-
Oddworld.
yeah.
It's a new IP, but I mean it used the same design art style as the
Okay.
previous ones.
But yeah, it looks okay. I can't really say much about more than that.
Very
It looks
small. It's a
okay.
very short trailer, so
Yeah. You want to add anything, Sort?
Looks like it's about aliens, I guess, and it
Yeah.
looks very, very bizarre.
so the problem is with this trailer
Mhm.
is that it definitely follows the same style of. Okay, Sword, have you ever played any of the Oddworld games before?
No.
So this game actually plays like a side scroll platformer, like in the style of Mario Brothers, or I guess in the sense this game is very difficult. The other games have always been hard to play. So what was that one? What was it Ghosts and Goblins on what was it, Sega?
Oh yeah, that game.
Yeah, it's a very difficult game. The Oddworld games have always been very hard games. They're good though. They have a very huge following because Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey and Abe's Exodus on PS1 was where the series was very known for, because that game uses kind of like a CGI design to it when you play it. So I'm not expecting to be anything less. I think the game's going to do just fine. But would I buy it personally? I mean I'm not really into. I wouldn't say I didn't find them interesting. I guess this has never really been into them, but they don't look like bad games. They look interesting. So if I found the game cheap down the road or something, I might buy it. I wouldn't buy it day one though. So I'm not writing it off. I just wouldn't get it day one.
Yeah, I'm not. That didn't terribly interest me, to be
Okay.
honest.
It's not a bad game.
No.
You just got to be in the mood to play something like that. You know.
Okay. Next game. And this will probably be the second most interesting game on the list so far. It's outside of Kenna. And that is wait, what's it called again?
Ghostwire.
Yeah, Ghostwire.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah. It's Ghostwire Tokyo. Yep. This looks really interesting, man. It looks really weird.
It looks really realistic.
Yeah,
totally
not only any type of weird, that Japan weird.
It appears to be
Something that only they could do.
Yeah.
What I'm looking at, it appears to be like interdimensional.
It seems
weird.
like it's like this weird supernatural.
Kind of
Ghost
like a
Hunter?
Suda 51
Like
game.
a mixture of supernatural and
Yeah.
like high
Looks like a
tech.
Suda
Yeah.
51 game to me. It's just bizarre and quirky.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
Look,
It does.
I'm not a fan of the first person. That's
Yeah.
not for me. But like everything else looks
Yeah.
really like, oh my god, I feel like I'm taking an acid trip right now just watching this. This
Mhm.
is
Like,
really
if
strange.
it is a first person only game, that may put me off. I'm not really into first person.
I'm
It
okay
does
with.
look great.
I'm okay with first
Sure.
person. It looks really, really
It looks
interesting.
interesting.
Interesting in
Mhm,
that
yeah.
weird sort of sense. It gives
I
me,
I'm not
think
sure,
the
I'm not sure how to make.
it gives me that
my like
paranormal investigation type of game in terms of
mhm.
your investigating
I think
different type of phenomenals and seeing the weird shit that goes with it. I think that
I can
makes it the
I
most
can
interesting.
definitely see myself getting this though.
Yeah, me too.
I would like to get it, but first person games can make me sick after a while. So it would unfortunately have to be a pass.
I
I
probably get
wouldn't.
it. Yeah, especially since there's not really many type of, I guess, ghost hunter slash phenomenal investigation type of video games out there to begin with.
Mhm.
So this looks really interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna give that a shot when it comes out.
hmm Jet the Far Shore. Seems. Seems like kind of post-apocalyptic type of setting almost. In terms of how I don't know. I don't know how this. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna watch the trailer.
Okay.
I mean, it looks all right.
Yeah.
I probably would pass on it just because it
Yeah.
doesn't really appeal to me.
It seems like kind of like a space exploration game, kind of.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good way to put it,
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, like
Yeah,
it looks
it looks
okay.
interesting, but it's definitely not my.
Yeah.
Nah, definitely not what I'm looking into for a game. I'll probably pass on it.
Yeah, it sounds about right. I can agree with that. I like science fiction a lot, so
Mhm.
it might be something to look out for. There's really not much here that
Yeah.
I'm seeing. I really
Just
don't. Yeah,
like the
it's more like
settings,
it's like a showcase of like
like
the game itself.
yeah. The only thing that says like the visual style seems a bit more Jerry, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, there's not really much to say, except space.
Yeah, I
Except
don't really.
space.
It
Yeah.
just looks. Yeah, it's you're giving you're not giving much to go on to really give a good opinion on it.
Mhm.
That's why I think, like we were saying earlier, at least that's what I was thinking earlier. That's why said to myself, a good trailer really sells a game.
Mhm.
And so far out of the trailers we've seen, Kena, Returnal, and Ratchet and Clank, so far really fits the build. They do a good job of showcasing the game. It makes you interested.
I think Ghostwire Tokyo does that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Ghostwire does too. And I guess Project Athena only because it's Square Enix, I guess. But yeah.
Okay, Godfall. I guess.
Uh,
What the heck is with that music in the trailer, man?
actually, I haven't even seen the trailer yet.
Oh, you know what I mean when you boot up the trailer, man. That music is so like unfitting for the type of game I think
Like,
Godfall
oh
is.
my god, it's so out of place.
Yeah.
I'm watching it now, dude. This is something you'd
Hold
see
on.
in like
This is
Are
this
they
is
trying to are they at like some kind of nightclub or something? Because
oh my god.
this
This
is
is
definitely
this
not
is
what I was
like oh
expecting.
you know what a medieval type of game with swords, fantasy setting. You know what type of music that would be best to go with?
And here's
Rap
another
music.
problem with this trailer.
yeah.
There's another problem with this trailer. The original trailer they showed of Godfall looked like it would be really interesting,
hmm
and then you see the gameplay, and then you're like, this game looks repetitive. Like this looks nothing like the original trailer they showed of Godfall. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't. The gameplay looks nothing like the original trailer showed. Yeah, I'm not getting this. And it's gonna be a launch title.
I'm so distracted by the music to even focus on the trailer.
Yeah. Like what the heck is with this music? Like what the
I feel like the video editor accidentally put on the wrong music,
Yeah.
didn't rewatch the trailer, and then just said, "Okay, this is good," and then put it out. He's like, "Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that."
I got it. One person put it. Let's put NBA 2K music in the trailer.
That's pretty much what it is.
It's pretty much an agreement. Music's out of place for this game. Unlike Godlike Armor, there's nothing off with this line. Somebody's shady. Music gave me cancer. This feels like Warframe, but with bad music.
Someone says, "Whoever picked the background music does not deserve to have hearing."
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So that overall gives you an idea of everything in the trailer. Shitty music, gameplay is not really. I'm sorry, shitty music, gameplay questionable.
Mm-hmm.
That really doesn't go well for Godfall. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
That it's looking like it's gonna be the launch title of like when you have your launch title of games, you got your one really bad game. I think Godfall is gonna be that. That's gonna fit that mode.
I have to wait on the gameplay footage more.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed enough gameplay.
But yeah, there's not really much to say in Godfall.
I mean, it looks like a standard adventure hack and slash.
Yeah.
I think it's an online game, like Destiny 2 or something like that.
If that's the case, they probably need more type of classes than just 3 from what we've seen so far. Which is like Sword and Shield, Lance, and Two-Handed Sword, I think. Yeah, like it seems okay. I'll probably wait to see more footage on it to see if I'd be interested in it. Okay, next game, Solar Ash. Now this game, pretty visually striking. I think in terms like this weird visual style it has. It kind of reminds me of Hollow Knight, kind of.
I almost get a very slight
Or Journey.
Journey
vibe. Journey.
Journey like in space or Journey high tech, sort of what I'm getting.
I'm just
Very
wondering. I'm just wondering what type of game it is, really. Because we only seen like a running segment on it. Like, is it going to be like a Journey type of game where it's basically just a walking simulator, and then the point of the game is just really the environmental storytelling?
Like, I'm looking at it right now. It literally is just like the character running across a field, and that's it. The end of it.
That's it.
I don't know.
I mean, the setting looks neat. Especially when in transition to her being upside down. I think that looks cool.
The visuals look great, but I couldn't even really tell you what kind of game it is, what the story is, what.
But yeah,
it's just the surreal imagery.
How about you, Forrest?
Yeah, I don't know, man. God, it's so hard to really be honest with you, man, because having limited, gameplay and stuff makes it hard.
I guess we can move on then. Next Hitman game.
No, I'm passing. I'm not gonna say nothing about that. That's not.
I can't really say much since I never played a Hitman game.
So. I was about to say I've never played a Hitman game at all.
We can just pass on that.
Yeah, and it mostly just show a cinematic trailer anyway, so there's not really much to say unless you really know the storyline behind Hitman. We don't, so we're not sure the significance of what that cinematic trailer is. So
if you want to be extra appeasing, Peter, to make your channel stand out extra more, you can always talk about the one game that everybody knows that comes out every year. NBA 2K21.
Oh yeah, they just show that game on live event. They just showed someone just dunking, I think. That's
Yeah,
it.
is
Or
it?
dribbling or something.
Dunking, dribbling a ball, and that's it. That's all they show.
There's not really much to say about that.
Yeah, there you go. uh,
Okay. I guess the next game of interest we should talk about is Little Devil Inside.
Type that.
so,
It's
you
a
know what?
very bizarre trailer, I think. Like with how it switches between this adventurer that we're following and this butler out of nowhere. They keep transitioning between the two of them. And
What the actual fuck?
see what I
So
mean?
he's being talking to a trailer. He's being chased by a giant chicken, and then he jumps into the ocean.
Yeah, and then it transitions back to the butler, or what I think is a butler. Looks like a
I
butler.
did
Yeah,
not.
I don't know.
You know,
I
I'm gonna be honest. I was expecting, by the name alone, I was expecting a horror game. Did not see this coming.
Yeah.
This is, oh my, I don't know.
It's a weird game, isn't it, Sword?
And now he's in the desert surfing on that. Oh my god.
Sword, is it making you excited to want to play
He's
it?
hunting a bear. Oh my, what is this?
Is it making you excited to play this
They
game?
were, oh, they were smoking something fierce when they made this.
I mean, it seems neat. It's very bizarre,
I-
and it captures the attention. But
Everything is completely out of context and just haphazardly put together. I
Yeah.
can't even tell you what I'm looking at.
But Sword, the question is it making you excited to play it? Is it giving you like the nice encouragement
I
to say, you know what, this
guess,
game looks great? Or is it telling you stay as far away from the acid that they took as much as possible?
I feel like I will get this just to see what the hell this is.
So it's not that you like the game, but you're so fucking curious about it, right?
I just
what
want to know what it is.
next game, BugSnacks.
Oh,
Bug
A,
snacks.
you
yeah.
ever-
So this game,
you ever play Octodad? You ever heard of
I don't know.
Octodad? You ever
Heard of it, yes.
Octodad? It's made
So
by the
you
same
are-
developer.
you are a strawberry that gets up on its leaves and starts walking, and then from there,
And then like
another strawberry appears.
it's like just bugs
And then all of a
made
sudden-
like there's these bugs that like look like strawberries, have the properties of strawberries and other type
Yep.
of fruit. It's really weird.
It's a weird game.
It's weird in
And
that
apparently the guy eat this whatever he is. He
Yeah.
eats the strawberry, and then his body turns into a strawberry, or parts of his body does.
I'm skimming through this. I'm not getting this.
but it's weird in that Octodad type of weird way, I
Mhm.
think.
So when you eat foods and stuff, your body changes into that stuff. Like I don't know if you saw the trailer, but there's a running cheeseburger, and a running donut, and a sub sandwich, and a pineapple. Yeah, can we move on to another game?
Yeah.
Because I think everyone's famished from eating too much snack bugs.
Next game on the list, Demon's Souls Remake! Oh yeah!
And I'm going to
I
step out.
think we
because
know what he's most excited for.
I was
Yeah,
going to
that's
say,
most-
I'm going to step out of this one. You have full floor because I have no interest in this game.
I've
Hey,
never
man,
played a Souls game.
It's a Demon's Souls remake. It looks so good, man. You know
I
what?
didn't even see gameplay. And I just saw CG.
You know what's the frame that people who play Demon's Souls know it was a Demon's Souls remake? When they saw the upside down corpse, that was the frame where people knew, oh shit, it's a Demon's Souls remake.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't even show any like actual in-game gameplay. It's just like CG mostly.
Yeah, but the enemies and bosses, the CG is so good. The only one that looks derpy is like Dragon God, but the gargoyles, the manta ray boss, the skeleton enemy that you go to the like Oddworld, which is around the Manta area, and Flame Lurker. They look badass as shit.
Well, here's the thing, though. We don't know if it's going to be a complete overhaul of the game's environments. It may not follow the same path. It may be complete. It may do what Resident Evil 3 did.
Yeah.
Take core elements from the actual original game, but it may not follow it to the T.
I know, but like, just this being a remake just gives hope that they might change some parts of Demon Souls. Like, please, for the love of God, change world tendency in Demon Souls.
Yeah, I'm not going to get this game for one reason. That's because it's too hard, too difficult. I don't have time to die over and over again. So, yeah, my friend today earlier was talking about how he was excited for that game. I said, that sounds good for you, but for me, no.
Yeah, I've never played a Souls game. I'm sure it's great. It looks great.
You played Bloodborne, right, Sport?
No, I haven't played anything in that series.
Oh man, you're missing out. If anything, Bloodborne is like the one that even people who really weren't into Demon Souls and Dark Souls enjoy Bloodborne. So if you play that and you like Bloodborne, I would go back to Demon Souls and give it a shot. I've tried it; it's just too difficult. That's one of the hardest games in the series. Is Demon Souls. I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, pretty excited, especially to see if they change some stuff.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of quality of life improvements too. Like I'm
wondering
sure
if
being the first Souls game,
being
the first Souls game, I'm sure there was a lot of jank in the original that I'm sure they probably touched up on.
There's jank
in the original Demon Souls.
But then like Demon Souls has like the game has the best atmosphere. The only game rivaling it is probably Bloodborne, I think. But yeah, Demon Souls has a lot of jank, but it's so good still. And especially has like one of the more interesting bosses in the game, to me. Especially like it has one of the most memorable bosses, like the Maiden Astraea fight. Pragmata fight was gimmicky, but it was still interesting. And then there's I forgot what's the name it's called, but there's this boss that calls on like an enemy player for you to fight against. It's basically it was like the prototype for Mirror Knight. Like from Dark Souls 2. So yeah. Can't wait to see this game come out. It's gonna be so I'm totally stoked about the Demon Souls remake, man. Like,
yeah, Peter's very excited for it. He's gonna literally be offline from Discord, from Final Fantasy 14, from everybody.
Yeah, like Demon Souls remake is probably the most sought after PS5 game right now. Oh yeah.
Even more excited than that bug game. That's sad.
Yeah. Okay, next game, Deathloop. Deathloop seems to me to be like a more over-the-top, Dishonored type of game, which is interesting, I think.
But also, you repeat your days or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Over
and over again. But yeah, it just seems like an over-top, Dishonored game, which can be incredibly interesting. Since in Dishonored, there's a morality system that kind of discourages the more violent and over-the-top abilities, but with seeing how this is a more over-the-top Dishonored, probably no morality system, more players would probably be able to see more of that crazy side of Dishonored that they wouldn't if they were playing like a good guy run in Dishonored. Though I say good guy in parentheses because the mercy option for most of the bosses are pretty cruel, so yeah.
It's just it's a first-person shooter. It's not.
It's hard to say it's a first-person shooter.
I guess it's more stealth-based.
Yeah, it's more in the line of Thief and Dishonored. Than like just a typical shooter. But yeah, it looks really cool to me. I like Dishonored 1 and 2 a lot, so I might get this game too. Okay.
That's good.
Next game, Resident Evil 8 Village. And I'll hand the floor to Forrest since he's Resident Evil
So yeah,
expert.
so after 3 came out, they hinted at like this Resident Evil 4 remake being in the village or whatever. It's like what rumors were coming out. What I was not expecting, however, what is it being a continuation of the story of Resident Evil 7 with Ethan. Ethan actually comes back in this game as a main character. But this world looks so bizarre. This game looks incredibly like Resident Evil 4-ish. It looks so weird. There's werewolves in this game now, which is even more bizarre. So yeah, I'm really digging this new game. There's only one problem though. It's first person.
Yep, I knew that was gonna be the problem.
And I can't and it makes me so upset because I can't first person makes me sick after so long. So I just cannot, like, part of me wants to play it, part of me is like, do I want to get sick playing it? I'm like, I kind of do, but I can't really play it. So it's I'm torn because I want to play it, but I can't. So I'm still gonna buy it. I may try to play a little at a time. May take me a long time to beat it, but I like the game trailer. The game visual looks amazing. The story looks interesting, and at the end where Chris kills Ethan's wife, I'm curious about that too. So Chris is like he gained some weight and got some more lines in his face. But anyway, yeah,
And yet again,
I'm up for it.
Chris changing visuals.
They changed his face again.
Yeah.
Oh,
like I didn't even know it was Chris just from initially looking at him.
Yeah, it's Chris.
Mhm.
Doesn't look like Chris, but it's Chris. Maybe it's Chris's alter ego.
Like it looks interesting. It looks like Resident Evil 8 seems to be taking a lot more supernatural elements than just zombies this time and bioweapons. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes. Like I've never played much Resident Evil to begin with, but like it'd be interesting to hear from Forrest when he plays the game.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna play day one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're using the Resident Evil engine that RE7 used, 2 and 3 used, so but it looks way more improved. So I'm definitely gonna play it day one.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts on it, Sor?
I think it looks cool. I have no experience with Resident Evil except for Raccoon City, which sucked. So I have no. So aside from that, I have no prior history with Resident Evil.
What we probably should have did was played a really shitty game and then played a really good one. But in the case of me and Shintai, when we played RE6, yeah, that was a torturous nightmare. We played that once every weekend, and it became a point where it was a chore. Where we literally we didn't like the game. We were playing it just so we could beat it. Yeah, I think you probably should stick with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Skip completely over 6. Skip completely over Resident Evil, the one on the DS, and what was the other one? Skip over Resident Evil Survivor. That's the first person piece of trash. But definitely play 7, and I think this 8 game is gonna be it's gonna be top notch. I think so.
Cool.
Okay. Next game on the list, Pragmata. From the get-go,
which game?
Pragmata, I think it's pronounced.
Oh, Pragmata.
Pragmata,
Oh.
yeah. So you know what this game reminds me of?
What?
It gives me the feeling of a Hideo Kojima game, just from the trailer.
I was thinking Death Stranding mixed with what was that EA game?
Death Stranding in space.
Horror game?
Huh? Which game?
Deep Space mixed with Death Stranding.
Hmm. Like to me, this feels totally like a Hideo Kojima type of game, just from
Mhm.
visual style. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
So?
I'm getting that just looking at it.
Yeah. And like, there's not really much to say about that. Besides that, I thought
It's
it was
like
like for
completely cinematic.
at first I thought it was going to be like a sequel to Death Stranding, just because of the device that the main character has. But yeah, it seems very Hideo Kojima-esque. That's all I can say about Pragmata.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to.
Well, not only that, but guess what? It's got a cat.
A safer cat where you can see its organs.
A see-through cat. Oh, you know what makes me very happy about that trailer?
What?
It's got real cars in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like what the hell's the gameplay gonna be?
I have
I
no
even
idea. And this
some of
looks
these
fucking
some of these
weird.
trailers are really abstract and
Mm-hmm.
not informative.
Yeah, I think it's what they're going for. They want you to guess what it's all about. They're just giving you just a taste of what it could be. And a lot of times the trailer either does a really good job of giving you what you want to know, or does a really poor job at it. Which tells me maybe this game isn't completely finished yet. Maybe they just started. Maybe they haven't even started yet. Maybe it's a mock up or something. I don't know. You just have to wait and see. But you know what's interesting though is that the fact that the girl can like go through like these different. I guess they're in like a digital, like a VR game or something, because it breaks through the sky or I don't know some. They end up on like a freaking planet. They end up on the moon. Like they fly off the planet into on the moon. This game looks weird. I don't know what's going on. Maybe the girl's name is Pragmata. Prag is it Pragmata or Pragmata? I don't.
Okay. I guess the last game that the live event showed is probably a game that Sword is really looking forward to. Horizon
I think I
Zero
know what
Dawn
you're gonna
2. Horizon Zero Dawn
Yes!
2! Forbidden
Horizon,
West.
what was it called? Forbidden West.
Yeah,
Yes.
Forbidden West.
And me, I'm going to say no. I am not interested. But I will say this:
It's mostly a
the
cinematic
fact that the
trailer.
game takes place in the U.S., the
Yeah.
game takes place in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah, the first. Yeah, so
Yeah.
the first one did too.
Post a lot apocalyptic.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, post-apocalyptic, since the world did end in Horizon Zero Dawn. And then they
Well,
just,
does it technically mean the world ended if it's post-apocalyptic?
yeah,
It did.
like
Yeah,
the
the world
world did end, and then
humanity like was literally extinct.
they had to
So-
extinct humanity just
Mhm.
to kill off to shut down the
Shut down the machines.
the machines.
But the machines are coming back, though, aren't they?
Yeah, Hades is coming back probably since he didn't die. He didn't get
Yeah,
destroyed
that
in
was
the first
that
game.
was the
Now,
that was
who
the
was
cliffhanger.
Hades
Like
in the game again?
he was one of the the machines that oversaw
He's
the
one like the bad,
Project Zero
like
Dawn.
evil machine,
Mhm.
devil machine. Hence the name Hades.
So,
sort of.
in the creation of making these machines, they made a devil and an angel machine, basically.
No, like
No.
the purpose of Hades was to like reset the development of like organic life in case
Like if
like
they
something
see
went
if
wrong.
Hades' purpose, like there was like 4 AIs I think. I can't remember the other names, but one was for just like storing life. Other was like information, giving like the
Like
new
the
humans,
knowledge, like
the
it was
knowledge.
archived knowledge. Hmm.
Yeah.
So-
Third one was building the machines that would like restart the
Like there was
by
like
all the-
terraformers.
yeah, terraformers, yeah, basically. And it's basically the enemies you fight for most of the game. And you didn't know that. So it's a pretty clever twist that the machines you've been fighting for most of
They
the game.
used to be good.
Yeah, they were good, but then they're like kind of degrading now.
Well, that's
And-
because Hades overwrote their
yeah.
their
And then
programming
Hades,
to attack
Hades was
humans.
basically the reset button, but then it got overtook by one of the evil machines, I think,
Mhm.
if I remember right. But yeah,
So,
Horizon
my-
Zero.
My question is,
Yeah.
What happened to all the actual animals? Because they showed in the trailer there was actual real. In the trailer, they showed a real animal in the trailer. Do real animals no longer
Yeah.
exist?
They're like they exist right now, but they're probably grown out of one of the AIs that was for storing life. Because
Yeah,
like
because
humanity of the past, they got nuked. They got nuked.
So
yeah,
what
they
you're
got
saying is all the
completely.
humans that are being born now were born through machines.
Kind of.
So yeah, they were like stored, like they were.
Yeah, like the first animals, humans, they were out of a machine. But then the rest is just like natural, kind of, you know.
Mhm.
So technically, they're machine born. So technically, they're not really human, are they?
Not. No, they're like artificial. They were like artificially created by the original humans
Mhm.
when they were developing the project.
So, you know what, Sword? I'll play the first game.
Yeah, this is too much to explain.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the thing is, I'm gonna give you the reason why I haven't never played it. It's an open world game.
Mhm.
I get
And
that,
I'm not really into open world games.
but I
It's
think
fine.
what Horizon is probably like, at least as far as I can think of at the top of my head, is probably the best use of open world because A, the world is interesting. B, there's always things to see. They're never just running around barren space. And there's always interesting content. Like all the side quests that you encounter, or not all, but a lot of the side quests you encounter are little tales in themselves that will contribute to the lore in some shape or form. So it never gets boring exploring the world. And plus, the world is large, but it's not like a Bethesda game, so it never goes into like the aimless wandering territory.
So, does the PS4 Pro take advantage of like the hardware to make it more looks better or whatever?
I didn't use the PS4 Pro for it.
All
But
right,
anyways,
the game's only like what, $10 used, $20 new. I guess I go ahead and check it out.
mhm. Yeah, because I remember like when I finished Horizon Zero Dawn, the ending I thought was very satisfying. But then after the credits, they show this last little cutscene, and I'm like,
Like
God damn it, it's a
you
cliffhanger.
thought
And
Hades was destroyed, but he
and
wasn't.
then Silence was trying to like, oh,
Take
I
control of
forgot.
Hades.
Yeah. So it's like it's almost like he could possibly be an antagonist in the second game.
Yeah. But
So
yeah,
wait,
there's
somebody turns against you at the end of the first game?
Sort
sort
of.
of.
It's implied.
Yeah, it's implied.
So basically, I have to watch. No, I have to play the first game and then the second one.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
But
what it looks
yeah,
like.
but from the trailer, it looks pretty cool. It's just mostly landscape type of visuals.
And then they showcase some new machines that look
Yeah.
really intimidating.
Yeah, like the turtle one. I guess the giant turtle one. And then, hey, maybe we get to go underwater now since you see a picture, like visuals of Eloy going underwater and seeing snap maws. Oh god, snap maws.
That would be a super. Oh man, the snap
Yeah.
maws. I hate them.
Yeah.
But just as long as like they have a good wrap up, they escalate the stakes even more, and the gameplay is as solid as it was in the first one. Maybe have some more quality of life improvements. I'd say maybe improve the RPG a bit because the skill trees in the original were like super straightforward. There's nothing to them, and I feel like some of the upgrades aren't that substantial. So maybe kind of increase the complexity of the customization for Aloy. Maybe just that there's maybe some more choice, something like that. So maybe just improve the RPG is basically what I'm saying. But otherwise, as long as they keep the same fun combat, exploration, and they have the same like engaging story as the first, I think it'll turn out great.
But yeah. I think so too. Like
Yeah, so long as they fix all the janky.
It'd be
gameplay
interesting.
problems,
It'd be interesting to see how they take the story from here because I think one of the most interesting parts of the first Horizon Zero Dawn is just finding out the lore behind the world. So now that that's revealed, and now like I'm interested to see where they're going to take the story.
Now it seems like it's gonna be more like about an external conflict, like that's
Yeah.
gonna because a good majority of Horizon's story was uncovering secrets of the past.
Yeah.
But that's all done. That's all
Mhm.
resolved. So I think that this will be more like some kind of Like I think, there's gonna be like the antagonists, like the new like Silence is I guess gonna be one. Hades is gonna come back, and I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Guess last thing to say is the PS5 design. So what do you guys think? Is it a router or is it a fridge?
Oh, I tell you what it is. It's neither. It's a game console.
Oh boy. In terms of overall design, like, no, I think it's actually neat.
I'm gonna go with fridge.
I'm gonna go with the fact that it could be a router if you get the diskless version. And as someone else mentioned, it looks like the hard drive. Oh no, the CD drive gives like a big butt or something weird. I don't know. It's what I heard online. I mean, I don't have any complaints about how the system looks. I think it looks fine. It looks futuristic. It looks different. It ain't. It doesn't look like a freaking refrigerator or a deep freezer as the Xbox does.
Like the most thing, like the thing I'm wondering the most about is just the price of the PS5.
Well, Spawn Wave on YouTube mentioned some postings from Mario 64 on Twitter of it being somewhere around $700 supposedly, but I don't know if that holds weight. Obviously, because Sony hasn't said anything, and two, the website that posted the original price changed it to pricing will be announced later. So, but everyone is speculating that it probably will be somewhere around 500, if not more. If the system comes out to be $700, that's not gonna fly. It's just not. If they didn't learn from the PS3 being $600, you know what I mean? Like, what makes them think that people are gonna want to spend $700 on a PlayStation 5 when they can build a PC for that much, an actual decent PC for that much? It just. I'm sticking to $500. Is what I think. In the digital version, it'll probably be $50 cheaper or $100 cheaper. It'd be $499 for the regular PS5, and then $399 for the one that without the disc drive.
But yeah, I'm probably gonna get the physical version. The problem I had with the PS4 in terms of buying online was just disk space. So I'll probably still stick with the physical version.
Not me. I have my PS4 Pro. I have around 7 terabytes of hard drive space, so I can install any game and not have to worry about any issues. Unfortunately, with this new SSD technology, I don't know how that's going to work and how much space they take up. If it reads off the drive better than having it installed, I have no idea. So just have to wait and see. But I think I'm leaning towards digital this time around. I may get the digital version. It all depends on how much the cost of it is. That'll determine what I make my decision on. Because right now I don't know. I have no idea. So what do you think, Sword? What's your opinion? What do you think how much it's going to be?
I don't know. I'm just excited for the system. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy it just for Horizon. There's other games that I want to check out, but not that I'm super invested in. But
I'm probably just gonna buy it just for Demon Souls remake.
I can see that.
Here's the thing. What if Demon Souls in day one? Are you going to buy the system day one or wait?
Yeah. Might buy it day one just because my brother wants to buy it too. But yeah. I think. Do you guys have anything else to add?
I hope
no,
they
off
come
the top
out
of
with
my
an
head.
all black console.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that they come out with different color controllers that are all one solid color. Because I do see some people complaining they don't like the black and white aesthetic. aside from that, I think the system's gonna be great. I think the games are gonna be amazing on it. And I don't want to get no Xbox because I don't need one when PlayStation has pretty much every game I want to play anyway. So that's where I stand on it.
I think that's everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. Well, this was Sirus Gaming Corner, and that's basically the end of this podcast. This is Peter 4790 for reviews and Swordfish 1390 signing off. Goodbye, folks.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.